Okay, so in this lesson, hopefully you can kind of see this here. Um, we had to do the flight plan versus direct nav. So um, the differentiating thing is kind of a lot, just because the flight plan is more or less for um, going places, going on trips and stuff like that. You always want to put in your route of flight, so you can always reference back to that. Um, so let's kind of get to, and direct two is just something real quick and easy, and to pull up really fast that are gonna help you in kind of sticky situations. So, um, okay, so flight plans. Um, I don't know how everybody else's checklists go, but on my FTA's um, flight plans, it's always in there. Actually, it's in there twice to make sure that you enter your flight plan, because it's very crucial to your route of flight. It just makes everything simpler, not having to worry about it. Just put it in there once, and then just it'll give you, at least if you're not going off at 24/7 or just relying on that, but it'll give you like a um, quick way to be like, oh, okay, I'm here. I'm how far from here. So that's another handy thing, is it'll give you your ETA. That's big, especially when you get up to commercial airliners and stuff like that. Um, you're gonna have to know how long it takes, so you can determine your descents, and just a whole bunch of different factors that'll play into there. Um, that's the next thing, is distances. It'll tell you how far away from your destination that you are, and it'll tell you how far away from your next point of that route of flight that you put in. So um, it can show you your whole route of flight. So like I said, when you're using maps and stuff like that, it's just easy just to look over. Oh, I'm here. I'm going to this waypoint next. Um, and another thing that it kind of differentiates from Direct 2 is it can hold multiple waypoints, so you're not jumping around from direct to this waypoint to direct to this waypoint. You can put them all in there, not have to worry about it. So that's good. In order to enter a flight plan on our G1000, we'll hit the flight plan button. Um, we will go over. We'll click the little knob, which will bring up our cursor, and then you'll just put in with your big knob. You'll put in your twist it till you get to the airport that you want, and then you'll just keep on going down until you get your whole flight plan. After that, you can just hit flight plan again, or you can hit clear and go back to your all your gauges and stuff like that. So um, really helpful with the G1000. It's completely different to not have that. It's definitely a game changer, especially if you didn't have an iPad. So when I started my private pilot, I didn't have an iPad and stuff like that, and so I always had the hand map. So not having that was kind of hard. So all right, let's get to Direct 2. So Direct 2 navigation. You can see here, I just got a couple points to talk about. Direct 2 navigation is a great tool. It's saved me multiple times. Sometimes I'll just forget, and as pilots, I think we do that quite a bit. That's why we have our checklist. But um, when you go to make your ATC call, you're like, I'm however far out. Well, it's hard to know. Sometimes it's hard to judge distances and stuff like that, and that's where a Direct 2 feature can really help. You can just hurry up and hit Direct 2 or the nearest button. But it'll usually pull up those nearest to you. So it's a quick way to get to a point, especially if you have an emergency situation and you have to divert. You can direct to a close point. But going back to what I said, it'll just bring up the one point, so it's not going to bring up all the other points that you could have on a flight plan. So you got to individually put them in each time, and especially a killer when it's not in range. So you got to sit there and it can get stressful while you're trying to manage tasks and stuff like that. So, sometimes it's easier when you have everything under control, but, then a gust of wind hits and ATC's calling and you don't know what you're doing, and all of a sudden, you can't, it's hard to juggle it all. So, comes back down to risk and task management. So, you're reducing risk by having this. So this is a huge function that they put in here. Let's see here. It's also going to give you your distances from your waypoints, your ETA to that waypoint. But I personally just always put in my flight plan, and then if something happens or if I have to divert or something, then that direct to button is easy to get to. So yeah, that's my presentation.